Hey guys, I just bought this outboard engine, 20 horsepower, Yamaha, and I am not happy with it. I only paid 280 euros for it, and the owner said that it had some idling problem when it starts to heating up, or after a while that you have been driving it, and I couldn't have that fault at all, so I was home pretty late yesterday. And I couldn't wait, so around half past 10 I put it in the sea and was driving it for around 5 minutes. Then suddenly this was happening. Yeah, so obviously I think that we have some other issues than just some misfiring here. I don't know if he was lying to me or if he actually don't know. So anyway, I will open this motor up, and what I so far has found was that it seems to be pretty hot, and yeah. So I will just open up the cooling channels and we are going to take a look at that and see what we can find and try to do this as a quick fix as possible, because we are in the middle of the summer and I want to go out and fish some mackerels. So let's open this up. I normally have an electric motor on this one just to do some nearby fishing, but now I found this and thought that if I buy this I can go out a little further and try to get some bigger fishes. So I normally just drive electric stuff because I think it's fun, and for me it's really cheap because I have a lot of solar panels and also a big battery to my house there. So I can use the solar energy even on the night time. So I was lucky to just have this away without disconnecting everything here, because we have some cables here that are not having the same color. So I will just try to not mess with that, because if I don't need that, I don't do that. So my plan here is to open up this side plate here. So far no bolts has been broken. I had just loosened those up earlier. So, and let's remove this hose here. Oh, it was coming really easy. So I really hope that I can have it out, because one bolt down here are interfering with the housing, so I cannot get that further out, but maybe that's enough. So let's see here. Oh, finally. Let's now take out this plate here. The plate looks good. So I will now remove the spark plugs, because we can see a pretty big part of the piston, and I would like to turn it around and see if I can see any scoring. Oh my God. So due to that seized up stuff that I had yesterday evening, so now I will be able to turn it around by hand, just by turning the flywheel. And then we are going to try to look inside of those ports here. So the exhaust is coming out from the top cylinder here, and then we have the lower cylinder there. So I will try to see if it is possible to film it. So there we have the piston, and we will not see the whole piston, of course. I need to take apart the whole engine then. but still, this one looks pretty nice. So far, a lot of oil. Yeah, we have some scoring there. Maybe not that bad. Now we can start to see the cylinder wall. So we can see the cross lining, and this is all in the upper cylinder. It's hard to get perfect focus here. There we have it. Oh, it's so hard. Well, this one looks pretty good. We just look at the cylinder. Little more scratches up there. I have a little mirror here now, and maybe we can see the piston and the scoring. You can see that we have 2 piston rings there and a lot of scratches in the piston and also in the piston rings. So I will lowering. It's so hard to do this. So I will raise up the piston so you can see the skirt of it. And it starts to look a lot better down here, but it almost doesn't matter down there. Not so much as up here, because we probably lose a lot of compression here. So let's take a look in the cylinder. I now have a flashlight in the sparking plug hole, and I am videoing this through a mirror, so the quality is not good. But we can clearly see that we have some scoring here, so it was probably this cylinder that was seizing up yesterday when I was test driving it. Alright, so there we have the conditions on this engine. And then we have the cooling channels here. I mean, they are not clogged up completely, but they are definitely not looking good either. So a lot of salt and corrosion. And there is a tiny hole there, and I have heard that it's really important that those are open. So yeah, it's a little hard to get perfect video here. But as you can see, it's a lot of debris and salt and pretty much everything here. By the way, there are the exhaust outlet. Well, I have to say that I had expected this engine to be a lot worse than it is. So my plan now is just to try to flush the cooling channels here and see if I can get out some of the salty stuff here, or corrosion. And well, obviously I would like to loosen up this head here and also flush that part, but I don't have a head gasket, so I will just try to press water in here and see if I can have it to cool a little better. So let's clean the channels, and I will do that with just pure fresh water and with my high pressure washer. It's not ideal, but it is what I have, and I think that it will do the job for me now. If I have some water into the cylinders, maybe not the worst thing that can happen right now. I am going to clean that out and start the engine up later on, so let it heat up there. So we will probably get rid of all that amount of water afterwards. So let's clean it. So first of all, I will just install the spark plugs again, because I will of course try to have as little water as possible into the cylinders. So, and now I am going to place the pistons in the middle, so I will close this exhaust port with help of the piston skirt. So now the pistons are in the middle, so I have closed those big ports to the exhaust there. But then you also have two holes here, and it's around I think it's 8 millimeters that are drilled into the cylinder here. You can see that this hole is actually just black. So we will have exhaust out of that one too, and also out from that hole here. So this is not possible to close at the same time, so I will just put in some paper here when I am flushing the cooling channel. It can be good to know that. Here's that exhaust channel that I was talking about that we now are going to block off with some paper. And if we now look here, I can also see that we have a small hole in the cooling channel here that will lead up to the cylinder head. Then we have two more of those small holes here that also leads into the cylinder head or the cooling jacket. So I will try to flush that as good as I can. And this here is only for the tail. I don't know the name for it right now. I have forgot about that. And here is the input channel. So you can do some schematics and just follow everything with help of this plate here. And you will have the thermostat there. And I have to confess that I have already taken this out once and checked it. So it is opening. And it seems to work. I have not checked the temperature, but it is open when I boil some water and dip it in. So I am thinking that it is working anyway. So you will always check this first, of course, before you start to take everything apart here. And I mean, you can really see that this is old and dirty and pretty much everything. So yeah, I will try to drive without this, I guess. I have not decided that yet, but it is opening and I need to check the temperature on it so it will not open way too late then. But I don't think that the engine will score if it will open up at 90 degrees. I don't know, but if it is completely blocked, then it will of course overheat. So the thing is, all the water that now are going to circulate into this engine here are going into the cylinders first, and then out to the cylinder head, and then up to the thermostat, and then turn around and will go down and out in the water again. So I think that when we now are going to flush the cooling channels here, we hopefully will see that we have water out from this big round hole there. If so, that means that the water at least will pass through this channel here and out into the head. How well it will flow inside of there, well, that can I not answer on right now because I have not opened it up. And I will not do that because I don't have any gaskets. And I think that I can do that later. I actually thought that the problem was sitting in here, but it does not look like that for now. So I will just cover this up with some plastic. Nej, den ska inte över hela båten, den ska bara vara här bak. Det blir bra så. So it's on the operation table now, sort of. So let's try it. So it's a lot cleaner. It's not perfect, but I mean it does not need to be completely perfect. The important thing is that those tiny holes there, you had one down there and you have one up there. Those are really important that those are open. Oh, it's so hard to see, but I think you get it. And then we have also one up there, deep inside there, and then also one in the lower part there. I'm not sure if I will be able to show you, but there is one tiny hole there too, I guess. Anyhow, I have just flushed it and I could see that when I penetrated this channel here with that high pressure water, I had water pretty much in every outlet here. So yeah, and some paint was also being removed. It's not much to do about that. But now it looks pretty good. As I said there earlier, don't flush those oval-shaped holes here, because those are leading directly into the combustion chamber. So be aware about that. I had my plans to take some paper and but I decided to not do that if that paper will travel all the way into the combustion chamber. All right, let's install everything again. So it's now time to put everything back together again, and I have also filed off a bolt here, so we have a little more room for that one. Hopefully this will be enough. And I have also put on some glue here on the gasket, because I accidentally cracked that one with a pressure washer. So let's see if this will be possible. Yes. So all the threads are now greased up, so I easily can have this taken apart again if I need to, because this is pretty much a quick fix for this summer, and also a bit of a troubleshooting. And I am missing my 10mm wrench. I have that in another place, so I just have to use this one. It's not so recommended, but in case of emergency you can always use this skiftnyckel. So I will start with the bottom here. Actually, you will see that there is numbers here, so you will have them tightened in that correction in that order that those numbers are, from 1 to what is it, 10 or 8 bolts, whatever. And then you also will see the torque here. So 0.8 kilograms of torque is the right amount of torque to put onto those screws. So 8 Newton meters for you guys who just work with Newton meters like I do. And you also have that kind of numbers on the cylinder head. It's really nice that they have done it like that, because almost anyone can fix it. So all right, I think that will be enough. So I am now wondering if I should go with the thermostat or if I should skip that one. Well, it's so easy to install it later, so I will skip that for now and just install this little cover here. First of all, I will also put on some grease here. Oh, that was pretty much actually. Yeah. All right. So I will just remove the spark plugs again. And taking the cylinders, or taking the pistons down in the lower end, and just flush it with some compressed air. So I will make sure that the piston are in the lower end. I actually think that we can hear it. Yeah. Great. So it was actually better to turn the crank slowly and flushing it with the air at the same time. So I will just clean those off. And it's really important now to start it up as soon as possible and let it run for a while, so it will be warm and dry out all that water that are in here. Okay, so it's time to install the ignition system and the rest of the part, and then we are going to start this up. So I will now just give it some fuel. And let's try to start it. Shock. The gear has to be in neutral. And let's try this. I will just turn it around slowly here first, so we don't have any water that will be trying to be compressed, because that's not possible. Yeah, it feels good. The compression feels to be even, so I think that it should be good anyway. Yeah, well, let's start this up. Now I can see that I have water here, and also a lot of water down here. I did not have that earlier. So I have clearly done something to it. It definitely does not have any problems at idle. So I mean, it was not coming any water here at all. This is just great. So let's check for some leaks here. Oh, it's really hard to see, but there is actually coming something down there. So I will try to tighten that bolt a little more. So now it's not leaking anymore. Great! I have to say that it runs really smooth, and I am pretty happy with it. I mean, for 280 euros, what can you ask for? So I will now take the boat down to the sea and try it out under load and see if it will hold the temperature and not trying to seize up on me one more time. So that will be in another video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of it. I normally don't do stuff like this on my channel, but I mean, hey, come on, it's pretty fun. And it probably can help somebody of you guys out there if you would like to do some kind of repair yourself. All right, this was a redneck repair. I will probably buy new gaskets and remove the cylinder head and clean that out later on. But I mean, if this now is working, just let it be as it is. All right, guys, that was everything for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.